Well, it's a chilly morning up here in the mountains. It got down to about 25 degrees last night and everything was totally iced over. But it is absolutely beautiful out here. It looks like there's some sort of national monument or something at the end of this road. I'm gonna go check it out, see if there's anything there. And that is probably going to be my last stop in New Mexico. I'm actually really close to the Arizona border right now, but I was looking at my budget last night and it's not looking good. So I can make it through next month, no problem. The thing is just because of scheduling and because of this funeral that I'm going to, my new job will start at the end of the month and I won't have enough money to actually make it through the end of the month. So I basically need to go back to Washington about now, sometime within the next 5 days, so I can start flex driving again and start making some money. On the plus side, I will be a lot less stressed about money once I have a little bit of money in my bank account, and flex driving is probably about the speed that I need at the moment, so I'm actually looking forward to that. It looks like there are some cliff dwellings up there that would be really awesome to check out, but it's in a fee area and I'm broke right now, so I think it's time to head back to Washington, unfortunately. I'll definitely have to come back here with some more money at some point. So I made it back to Silver City here, and after checking my bank accounts and confirming what I had suspected about my money, I do think it probably makes most sense for me to head back to the Seattle area so I can flex drive for a couple of weeks. If I head back, my finances make sense. If I don't, then I am running the risk of running out of money after the funeral. So I don't really want to do that, obviously, and I'm about to leave New Mexico one way or the other, so I think it probably does make the most sense to head back to the Seattle area. I also want to empty out some things out of my car. I need to get my oil changed. I'm about 1,500 miles away from the dealer that sold me the car and is giving me, well, not really free, but prepaid maintenance right now. So that actually works out perfectly with my mileage. I can get my oil changed as soon as I get back. It will cost me a couple $100s to do this, but on the other hand, I'll probably make at least $1,500 or $2,000 by heading back to the Seattle area. So it's worth it. And it's only a 2-day drive down to California where the funeral is located. So that won't be too bad when the time comes for that. It was a little bit disappointing having to head back early, but it really is motivation for me to finish clearing out the rest of my debt. This trip would have been a lot more sustainable if I didn't have that extra $1,500 of minimum debt payments hanging around. I probably would have gone at least another month without having to turn back and try to find some money. It would have been nice to try and experiment with different types of gig work, but I was in the middle of nowhere and there wasn't much gig work around, obviously, and flex driving I know is reliable and probably the highest paid that I can do. As I headed back towards Washington, I spent a lot of time thinking about how I could have stayed out longer, what things I can do differently in the future to improve my income and get this debt paid off as quickly as possible. And I definitely have some ideas now of what I really need when I'm out there. Aside from really needing to pay off that debt, one of the biggest things that I encountered was that I really needed a bathroom solution for those off-grid campsites where you just don't have a lot of privacy, but you're far enough away from civilization that there isn't a bathroom either. Also, my cooking setup and my dishes arrangement, while they have been functional for the last several years, They started driving me kind of crazy when I was out on the road and using them almost every day. So I really need to do something to create a more compact, a little bit more functional kitchen situation for my vehicle. Having said all that, I absolutely loved this trip. The Subaru Crosstrek did an amazing job on every trail, every mountain pass that I went over, in the snow, on the rocks. It really did everything I asked it to, and it did it reliably, and I averaged well over 30 miles per gallon at the same time. As I got closer to Washington, I realized that all of these jobs working as a commercial driver would require me to get an apartment to maintain a legal address for work. This entire trip was about trying to leave a high cost of living area and find somewhere a little bit more sustainable to live. What I found was that relocating is actually way more difficult than I had originally thought. Well, I made it to Snowville. I wanted to stop here for fuel on the way out to Texas and on the way back. Snowville happened to be the best fuel station for me. So there's nothing here other than 2 gas stations as far as I can tell. But anyways, this next leg of the trip is going to be kind of crazy. It's snowing out. Actually, it just stopped. But I'm going over the remainder of the Rocky Mountains. I'm hoping I can be in eastern Washington for the night. But the road is definitely icy and there is snow on it in places. I knew going into it that this trip would be a bit of a long shot, both in terms of trying to find a new job and trying to grow this channel, but I am still very glad that I went on this trip. I've seen parts of this country now that I did not really even know existed before, and even though I may not return to car life full time again, I will definitely be taking a lot more road trips in the future, knowing just how inexpensive and easy it is to get around the country. Even though it's not entirely ideal, the type of work that I'm going to end up having to do, I think ultimately it will be a very good thing that will give me the resources to build this channel and go on the adventures that I really want to.